Luke 23:42, then he said to Jesus, Lord, remember me when you come into your kingdom. Jesus said to him, assuredly I say to you, today you will be with me in paradise. Brothers and sisters, one of the reasons that I love the Easter season and the resurrection season is because it demonstrates for those of us that believe that even in the worst of times, we serve a God and a Christ that can take what looks horrible and horrific and unfixable and turn it around for our good. I ought to have a witness right there. The God we serve can take the worst of times, and if we'll trust him in our moments of trial, he will always lead us to triumph. Let our minds run back for a moment. How much worse could it have gotten for our Christ? Hanging on the cross of Calvary, dealing with the humiliation of public crucifixion, the shame of being exposed nearly naked on public display, hanging in the middle of two convicted and guilty thieves, and the implication being that the man in the middle was the vilest of them all. And in the midst of all this chaos, at the height of his physical suffering, when most of us in this room would have been resentful of Caiaphas and the high priest, we would have resented the Sanhedrin council that had sentenced him to this excruciating and painful death. Certainly, we would have had a few choice words for old cowardly Pilate, who had ample opportunity to release our Christ. I believe if it were one of us, we would have even had perhaps animosity and anger towards Peter and the other disciples that had deserted him in his moment of trial. There's no doubt that if it were one of us, we would have had to tell the crowd a thing or two that won't be found in the Sunday school lesson. We'd have to say something about how fickle they were, how quickly they turned on our Christ. For many of them 5 days earlier had been praising him and crying Hosanna as he entered Jerusalem and made the public choice to spare Barabbas and crucify Jesus on the cross. But the good news is, even in these final hours on earth, as we heard in the first word, Jesus preaches forgiveness in a moment of agony. He said to his heavenly Father, Father, forgive them. They know not what they do.